Welcome to Facebook for the Blind, your look at the downfall of Western civilization through the best memes we can find each week. Ladies and gentlemen, both and neither, welcome to that time of the week we like to celebrate Facebook for the Blind, a show for the visually and Facebook impaired. I am your never humble host, Eric Sizemore, joined by my beautiful co-host, dialing it in from the left coast, Brane Damage.
Choo!
And coming in from still occupied South Canada, Quiet Michael. Being especially quiet because he stepped out to clean up water. It's a long story. That's okay, though, because every single show has
Hey,
a
Eric.
constitutional... Absolutely essential, totally required concept that we have incorporated into every single episode of this show by law. You know what I'm talking about. Episode 251 of Facebook for the Blind, kicking things off with the depressing news. There's too much news. I don't know if you guys do news the way I do news, but I look like a wall of text like this, and then sometimes I look at a wall of images like this, and it's just like so much, so much to go through there. It's absolutely nuts. Then I usually just go to the comedians, get the roundup. You know what I mean? Jon Stewart saying Trump was less a war leader, more of a grandpa who's lost his filter because he just says stuff. Like, did you see the little bomb he dropped on the Japanese prime minister? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have put it that way. I know, not quite as bad as what he said, though. Come on. Jimmy Kimmel said Mike Johnson gave the president a golden award because everyone knows that he responds to that. And, and Kimmel said Mike Johnson's new award for Trump, you can almost feel his spine exiting his body. So, also fun. Anyway, just, funny guys. This is how I prefer to get my news. As we're going to press, of course, because the news just keeps fire hosing out all the time. On Air Force One, the president whipped out these enormous printed photos. I mean, somebody was at Kinko's for a while. You know what I'm talking about? And like these suckers are like the size of like, a widescreen TV. And some poor intern probably had to haul like a dozen of these things in there. Because as soon as they ask him about the war, he whips out his photos to talk about the ballroom. And in the process of doing it, he says, yeah, it includes a massive underground military complex. Which we all kind of knew, but now they said that. The reason it was in the news, of course, is because a lawsuit, the judge has said everything's got to stop. Everything. So no more demolition, no more construction. Everything stops. We're in trial now. So, the East Wing of the White House is gone, and there's just going to stay that way for a bit. Hey, and good news that another judge permanently blocked Trump's order that ended funding for NPR and PBS. How fun is that? NPR and PBS's funding will be restored because that was an unconstitutional violation of the First Amendment. Can't pull people out there. Well, the military and Pete Kegsbreath, our Secretary of War, which is so ridiculous, has reversed a helicopter crew's suspension over a Kid Rock flyby. Apparently, Kid Rock is some kind of like Make-A-Wish kid and gets to call up the military and have them fly Blackhawks by his house so he can put photos on the Insta. Because that's the dumb reality star world we live in right now. Anyway, also, the Supreme Court, a bunch of judges that are doing weird crap, just ruled against the ban on conversion therapy for LGBTQ plus minors. Because there have only been like 600,000 of them, and most of them say they were traumatized, it didn't help, and it doesn't work. And the scientific community is like, no, why would you keep doing this? Why would you keep abusing children this way? But the Supreme Court is just like, nah, kicked it down to the lower court. So that's kind of fun. Well, the Strait of Hormuz, say what you will, but Americans are learning at least this little teeny tiny part of geography, which is amazing. Which is resulting, now with AI everywhere, with a bunch of dumb people doing things like this with Harsh posting this one. Could this be the solution? And he's just got, a truck with oil carrying the oil by land there. The AI apparently doesn't know about mountain ranges in Saudi Arabia, but that's okay. Which it also resulted in lots of mocking online, tremendous stuff like, uh, oh, this one, which I thought was pretty cool. A solution to the Strait of Hormuz. We have a sailboat, builds up speed, hits a trip line, does a cool backflip, and nails the landing. Could this be a solution? Anyway, there are thousands of these. I recommend you look at all of them, as I did. My favorite, I believe, was this one: drop off point, pour oil into giant slip and slide. And then there's a pickup point on the other end. Fantastic. Strait of Hormuz, little geography lesson. Meanwhile, the tangerine toddler has been partying, raising money, going to all kinds of Republican money conventions and things like that. Here, the toddler himself is captioned as saying, "I'm supposed to be prosecuting a war, but here I am making a speech behind a goldenized podium after doing, I don't know, a bunny hop in the conga line." I mean, this guy's an idiot. Can't believe we're in charge of this. The most fun news is Drewski. First off, I had never heard of comedian Drewski, so now I know about him. He's a very funny guy. But he did an imitation in drag of Erica Kirk in a skit, and it blew up. Erica Kirk got mad, responded right away, said, "This is sick. You fully dressed up as me, copied my look, my voice, blah, blah, blah. Called it comedy. This is racist, humiliating, and you know what you're doing." So, but the best fun of all was that Grok, Elon's racist AI, misidentified the comedian Drewski as Erica Kirk. I want you to look at these two pictures. This tells me that Elon has made his way into that AI and he thinks they all look alike. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if I do, but that's what I'm thinking. Anyway, there you go. Drewski replied, "Erica Kirk sent a cease and desist order trying to sue me over a skit. Little does she know, parody is protected. It's comedy, not defamation. Y'all gotta stop trying to take jokes to court. Thank you, Drewski." Anyway, Streisand effect, very fun. Erica Kirk comments back, "My own little daughter came to me thinking she had seen me in that video. That's how far this has gone. A grown man turned me into a costume, spread it to millions of people, and now even my child is confused and hurt by it. Y'all keep calling it comedy, but there's nothing funny about bringing this kind of humiliation to my family." Yes, there fucking is, Erica. I am loving it. Every minute of it. Don't care. Controversial political memes and anti-establishment human beings has a post from Josh Hagford that says, "Everyone is talking about the irony of Trump using mail-in voting. And I'm here wondering how the fuck he's allowed to vote as a convicted felon in Florida." You remember they had a whole vote about this and then the court overturned it? It is an interesting point. Hey, here's an interesting one. Elon, least favorite enemy of the show, has been hit by a lawsuit. Uh, all those, you remember back in the day when he told all those advertisers if they didn't want to advertise on Twitter to go fuck themselves? Well, apparently they said, okay. And he tried to sue them, and the judge was like, no, you go fuck yourself. So that's off. Anyway, so loser. Speaking of losers, Cash Patel is in the news because the FBI and his personal information was leaked because Iranian hackers are pretty freaking good. Breaking: Department of Justice says FBI Director Cash Patel's personal email has been breached by hackers. And Steven is my name says, how'd they guess the code word Cash Money 69? The president keeps claiming that he's in talks with the Iranians, which is weird because the Iranians go, no, he's a liar. Representative Jim Hines accuses Trump flat out on Face the Nation on CBS, flat out lying about negotiating with Iran. Democratic Representative Jim Hines accused President Trump of lying about U.S. negotiations with Iran on Face the Nation with Mark and Brennan. Ha! And you're like, man, that Jim Hines is a pretty good dude. No, he's not. This guy is totally cynical. Everyone is ripping him because he is now siding with Trump over the Section 02 domestic spying. And they're just like, oh, give the president the benefit of the doubt. This Democrat is lobbying former Democrats on the Senate Intelligence Committee. excuse me, House Intelligence Committee to go ahead and reauthorize the most Orwellian surveillance possible because, we might need it. And, who to better have a handle on that type of surveillance than this guy. So, anyway, nope, not a cool guy. I don't care what he did on Face the Nation. Two-faced. I'm here to expose it. Hey, in the best hack of the week, Post reporters who called the White House found out that the call ID had been changed to show Epstein Island. Thank you, anti-QAnon memes, for the excellent troll news. Somebody messed up Google's widely cited databases of business listings and changed it to Epstein Island, and I am loving it. As you know, every episode of Facebook for the Blinds, Depressing News concludes with a nice heartwarming animal story, and March 31st, 2026 is no different, except that it's a weird one. They found out now that sponges are actually the first animals on the planet, and they set it back. They
I
pushed it
always
back.
suspected that, Eric.
Did you? Did you? I always sort of thought you might be a loofah lover, actually.
They look
I wondered.
OG, you
I
know?
saw you had several of them in the shower, and I was going to ask, but I didn't know
First
if it
time I
was.
saw a sponge, I was like,
Uh,
I bet that was here first.
Loofahs are plants. They're in the gourd family.
Thanks, Nan.
Well, A to
That's
Z
that's what
animals.
a BS in horticulture will give you, Michael.
Well, the
I didn't
discovery
have
of the
any questions. I was just grateful.
The discovery of the sea sponge order Vilcida has unique sterols that support the hypothesis that the animals may have originated 100 million years earlier than previously expected. They have traces of ancient chemicals known as stearanes. Stearanes. They're ancient. With that, we're done. We're so done. Moving on to round one. As soon as Michael figures out he's muted.
Your mom's muted. I'm not muted.
I assume you've got an average round one.
No, here comes my big long round one. Strap in. Kicking it off with the Hard Times. Friend of the show, thehardtimes.net. Picture of Kid Rock and Hard Times reports. We sat down with future Supreme Court Justice Kid Rock.
Jesus.
Oh, somebody found a new political strategy here as they're retweeting Red, who reports Taiwanese parliament member reportedly stole a bill and ran away with it to stop it from being passed.
Oh, that's funny.
How come we never tried that?
Excellent point.
A Briar Wall just wrote, I am awake, but at what cost? Trash cans here. Friend of the show, Trash Can Paul, keeping it filthy.
Hey, Paul.
He's got a picture of this is like a real Flintstones car. Like in real life, somebody made a Flintstones car. Trash can says, how I'm gonna be pulling up if these gas prices get any higher. Because he doesn't run on gas there, Eric. You just use your feet.
Yep. Through the
Oh, love
courtesy
this picture. This is a happy Trans Day of Visibility to all of our listeners and everyone who celebrates. Famous picture of David Lynch, and he says, "Fix your hearts or die." If anybody doesn't know that quote, I highly recommend you look it up. Here's a picture of a cat, two cats, really, maybe the same cat, two different angles. I don't know. But it says, they hate on me for farting, but real stars are made of gas.
God.
That's from Feral to Fluffy. Moving right along. Not today, God. Friend of the show, not today, God.
Hey.
Got a picture of a Furby, but like all of the everything's
Ooh.
been removed, so it's just the actual robot with the eyes and the fucking weird mouth. And it says, I'll make God regret making me. Not today, God's back. Another Furby. This one's been turned into a beef and cheddar from Arby's, but with the eyes and the mouth in the beef and cheddar. And it says, God has left us. And finally, for round one, we have Nishabi Chebby, friend of the show, Nishabi Chebby, who says less chat GPT, more LGBT. And that's all I got for round one. Kicking it over to Brain Damage.
Brane.
All right.
Bang!
This is the fuck you round. It's just for me. It's not for you. This one we're starting off with MMA community, low kick MMA, and we have the little guys from Boys in the Hood saying, "Y'all want to see a dead body?" And in our second frame, we have Macy Barber laid out in the middle of the octagon because this weekend, Macy Barber fought Alexa Grasso, and Alexa Grasso knocked her out so hard and then choked her out that she laid there unconscious for several minutes. People thought she was dead. Hilarious MMA posts a picture of them with the cameraman with a gigantic camera all in Macy Barber's face, and it says Paramount Plus getting the money shot on Macy Barber after the KO. Hashtag UFC Seattle. I
That
had one with
camera-
Joe Rogan.
Is that camera real? That looks like too much.
That is not. That is definitely an enlarged camera. We're not going to talk about other enlargements though. Sportskeeda Combat has Alexa Grasso choking Macy Barber out, and said Macy Barber spoke out after, and she had tweeted out, "I don't really remember a whole lot. All I know is every time I go on social media, I look like I'm dead. That's not a very fun thing to see, but I'm okay." Good to know, Macy, because we all thought she was dead for a little while. I was actually a little worried.
Oh
A
man.
little worried. And low kick MMA and MMA community again has Macy Barber getting choked out, and it says, "For all you idiots complaining, this is clearly a calf kick we're looking at here." And then UFC shit posting has a ghost soul floating away from Macy Barber as she lays there unconscious. And this one was after the fight. Macy Barber's partner and Give Me Sport had posted that she was posting at the hospital that Macy was okay. Couple of updates. And they called it a KO. So she knocked her with a right hand that spun her around, dropped her to her knees, and she just seen the open neck, and she grabbed the neck, choked her out, and it was still considered a knockout at the end of the day. So Hilarious MMA was like, "How did you call this a KO when it should have been a submission?" Dana White called it one of the greatest finishes in the sport's history, and that is also true. That one was MMA Junkie. As you can see, this whole round is just pictures of Macy Barber getting choked out by Alexa Grasso. And this one's another Josh Thompson, the real punk at Josh Thompson. He was like, "How is this considered a KO?" Then MMA Crazy has the MMA UFC fight game is insane, and it has a picture of Kamaru Usman looking up with his eyes wide open, Macy with her eyes wide open. Kamaru Usman defended his title against Leon Edwards a couple of years ago, and Edwards literally knocked him out with a head kick with 1 second left in the 25-minute fight. And it was one of those scary ones where his eyes were open, but he was knocked out cold. And then we got funny MMA here with Rocky Balboa, and he's holding Apollo Creed as he lays on the canvas with his Macy Barber's face on that one. And then they have this Fight Bananas has a scary finish. And yeah, when Alexa Grasso released Macy Barber attacked the leg of the ref and was trying to take him down. That's how unconscious she was. And then MMA community and low kick making their fourth appearance on this round. Says the UFC was playing favorites like a parlay, and it's the meme of the kid kind of drowning there in the pool, and someone else helping a kid that's actually propped up on a wall, and that kid is labeled Michael Chiesa. The woman helping Michael Chiesa is labeled Dana White, and the kid drowning is labeled Mighty Mouse. Because Chiesa fought Nico Price. Both fighters decided to retire before this fight happened. Chiesa won by rear naked choke, much like Alexa Grasso, but they gave Michael Chiesa a whole video package of him and his whole career in the UFC. And Nico Price is just dead and down in the water. They didn't even interview him. They didn't give. This man has 20 fights in the UFC, and they just was like, "Yeah, fuck you," and they put Mighty Mouse in the Hall of Fame, which they traded him away to the PFL, or not the PFL. I think it was ONE FC at the time. And they put him in the Hall of Fame and didn't even give him a video package, so that was all awkward. And then there's the last one, Dolazier MMA has a 2-panel, and the first panel is some like woman with a beanie on and a hoodie over it, and she's like, "Hey, are you free April 11th?" And the second panel says April 11th, and it shows Yuri Prokrija and Carlos Oberg, who are going to be fighting on April 11th. And I shit you not, Eric, this is the type of shitty comedian I am. I have turned down paid gigs to be like, nah, I got to watch the fights that night. So I had to throw that one in. And just to piss you all off, that was an all MMA round. Passing it off to you, Eric.
Incredible. I am not pissed in the slightest, mostly because I don't know anything.
Right.
Episode 251, your ostensibly wholesome round. Look at it, round one. Oh my God, that is so wholesome. Look, it's kittens. Oh, it's kittens. That's right. Hey, as we're going to press, Michael and I always like to look at the heretics. Well, Trump's spiritual advisor, Paula White, who speaks in tongues and is every bit a con person, grifter, lunatic as you think she is, says she wants every American to donate 10% of their gross income to Israel, while millions of Americans can't afford groceries. Yes, Paula says as the president's spiritual advisor, and in the background there we see Benjamin Netanyahu making the prayer hands like, yes, please give us even more of your money. I don't know. Got any Paula stuff?
I don't, but I need this meme.
You got it.
I'm I'm gonna pick a fight with some family members.
Hell yeah. Lee J. Wolf over in Best and Worst of Twitter 2 has reposted this, and it's Will. It's a picture of Will the Wise from Stranger Things. It says, "Hi guys, I'm new to Twitter. My name is Will." And Mike says, "Will D's nuts fit in your mouth?" Then somebody posts his IP address.
Will did.
Will posts the IP address of Mike, and he goes, I'm sorry." His Hands Beck, all-star contributor, has reposted this tweet from Asa Malax. Says the Navy should actively recruit people who cannot swim because they will be much more dedicated to defending the ship. Friend of mine, Sarcasm League, says, as I've grown older, I've learned that pleasing everyone is impossible, but pissing everyone off is a piece of cake. Except for Brane, last round, fail. Sorry. I just thought, yeah, I can totally
No
do
way.
that. Dark, spooky, macabre, and more memes has this post from Rafael Ricardo Casanova. Daily Star headline, sex robot company selling clones of dead partners created with 3D scans. And the first commenter says, people are so spoiled nowadays. Back in my day, we dug up a corpse with our bare hands and fucked it like the good Lord intended. That's aghast. Michael's face right now is aghast. It is the wholesome round. Friend of mine, The Onion, has this post of Jesus with a pencil behind his ear, and it says, Jesus clarifies return will be strictly limited to carpentry business. Sorry, all you other industries out there, but what the hell. Here we have a picture of Homelander from The Boys, a show that I'm not watching anymore. I'm sorry. That's a messed up show, buddy.
It's too much. I went through the same arc with the comics where I was like reading it and then I was like too much. And then the show came out and I was like, yay. And then I was like, wait, oh yeah, too much.
No, too much. Yeah, I'm scarred. I deleted it. Okay. But here we have Why Duck Now, who's posting a picture of Homelander, and it just says, what a boring planet. No fairies, no elves, no mermaids, no dragons, no vampires, no werewolves. Just bills, stress, gossip, and insufferable people. And the first commenter, Ivy, says, y'all couldn't even handle different skin colors. Be for real. Seriously. You're like, oh yeah, like we just tolerate werewolves. Get real. No, you're getting burned at the stake. You're getting
That's
burned.
such a good point, dude.
You're getting burned at the stake. And finally, from Reddit, Stone Cold Jane Austen at Magzilla Too Early has posted this from Reddit: wedding favors at a reception. And we see here a little cross-stitched cloth, and it says, quote, It was love at first sight, at last sight, at ever and ever sight. From Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. And in all caps, the poster has said, "This is why you need to read books, people." and and in case I know all those messages are ambiguous, but I like the post and the commenter has Lucille Ball just going, yeah, no, you shouldn't be quoting anything from Lolita to any other people. That's just a bad idea. Just that's all it is. That, I believe, is the end of my ostensibly wholesome round. But I made this graphic today, so I'm using it again. Because somebody said we should put up, I was like, we need a bat signal for anonymous. So I made one. And that is the end of my ostensibly wholesome round one. Handing it back to you, Michael.
Very ostensible.
I thought so, allegedly.
All right, here we go. Kicking off round one. Listen, there's going to be a lot of trash can this round. Just be ready for that.
Sure.
Trash can Paul is a picture of a knight, and it just says, "Fuck therapy. I'm becoming a knight."
That is Sir Duncan the Tall.
Trash can and yeah, sports. Got a picture of Airbud with his like jersey on and his little sneakers and whatnot, and it says "Reverse Airbud movie about a human basketball player who, on a technicality, enters and wins the Westminster Dog Show."
Dude, coming to an AI movie theater near you. That's awesome.
At Ease Celestite, friend of the show.
Hey.
There's four pictures here. It says, "Just found the most tomato-looking tomato ever." And for our listeners, I want you to imagine a tomato. And that's what we're looking at here.
Yeah.
I think this is right, though. I mean, it's like
Sure.
very, very tomato looking. Trash cans, Paul's back. This is a picture of a knight leaning on a longsword.
That
And
is
it says,
also Sir Duncan the Tall.
Sir Duncan the Tall. It says, "Fuck therapy, I'm becoming a knight." Evidently, Trash Can had this thought more than once. K Bucko, friend of the show, K Bucko 7.
Hey, Kay.
He
Jesus.
says, "Reading Dune. Frank Herbert was cooking." And then the quote says, "Once men turned their thinking over to machines in the hope that this would set them free. But that only permitted other men with machines to enslave them. Thou shalt not make a machine in the likeness of a man's mind," Paul quoted. The first comment says, "At Grok, please explain this post and the quote in it. What should I understand about it?" Amanda Porless in Times, friend of the show,
Hey.
says, "A country that plans to host the World Cup in 2 months. We are replacing all airport staff with our most violent high school dropouts." Left of the projector pod. Says, if you like Black Mirror, you'll absolutely fall in love with the United States.
Oh my God. Oh. By the way, I just saw Good Luck, Don't Die. Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. Brilliant.
I haven't even heard of it, but I'll check it out. Salita Books, friend of the show, Salita Books is a picture of Rambo going fucking crazy, shooting a machine gun with one hand, and it says, "When you don't put your laptop in a separate bin." Simon C. Holland says, "Why limit your madness to March?" So,
Good
I
point.
think I got one more for this round. Yeah, this is it. Lennox, friend of the show, Lennox at FW_Lennox1 says, "Imagine a crab coming out of the sea, pressuring you to kiss a girl you just met 2 days ago in a Jamaican accent." Would be weird. All right, Brane, what do you got?
All right. Where the fuck did my Zoom go?
It's ostensibly second round.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't find the right button. All right, this one I should probably pass on because there's going to be a few crazy conspiracies in this one. And I don't remember who posted this one, but it says the Ozempic wave was a CIA operation to get Americans back down to enlistment weight. Walk with me now. They're trying to draft us. This one's Mommy's Gone Baddie, and it is a picture of Elvis Presley, and it says hashtag No Kings Protests. And he says, "Oh, why are people still protesting me?" And get this, Eric, I bet you didn't know there's a conspiracy theory that some flat earther says that Donald Trump is actually Elvis Presley. All right, let's move on. Yep. Gary Stone posts, unfun fact, even if the Treasury Department printed Donald Trump's name on every bill for the next 3 years, it wouldn't be as many times as it appears in the Epstein files.
Oh my God.
Oh. That's good.
Here we've got somebody named Victor Gomez, and they say, all these No Kings protests, but still no one doing a No Pedophiles protest.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's kind of hard because right now it's the same guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still, I mean, is he really a king? I mean, he's really a pedophile. We know that for sure. Anyways, Maria Laws is spelled Meria, and it is a picture of a protest, and one of them has a sign that says "Impeach Pedoff Shitler," and you notice the O on Pedoff has Trump's toupee on it, and then it's Trump with his shit-stained pants. I'm not even political, and these memes are too good to pass up. This one's UFC shit posting. Somebody named Tomas Halverson has a picture of two dudes in Trump Vance t-shirts at some kind of protest with MAGA hats on, and they're looking kind of like, ugh. And it says, to everyone who voted for Trump because you wanted lower gas prices, lower grocery prices, no new wars, and a full release of the Epstein files. How's that going?
Yeah.
This one is Bakari Sellers, and it says, new logo just dropped, Trump 2028, but it is Trump $20.28 per gallon.
Yeah. I love that one.
And then this one is comedian Joe Klosick. I finally got his name right. Remember when Trump told you that if you vote for Kamala Harris, the United States would be in a war with Iran, gas prices would skyrocket, and secret group of child molesters would continue to control the government? Remember that? Remember, I'm so glad none of that happened. And then here we got comedian Corey Showtime Robinson just says, in the battle of good versus evil, evil is up by 50 at halftime. And then my wife wrote in the chat, no memes about I don't even know how to say this lady's Noemi's husband. I don't know. She was trying to tell me something about this.
Oh yeah.
And then it came
Christy
up in my feed, so I had to yeah. So dumbass photoshops by Joel has a picture of South Park, and it is one of the dads from South Park, and he's got two big chi-chis. I don't know how this guy has some man boobs so big, but they're bigger than Dolly Parton's, and it says former Secretary of Homeland Security Christy Noem husband Barron has a little cross-dressing fetish.
Yeah. Yup.
And then the last one for this round has George Lopez and a picture of the Van Gogh painting, but it has some jets flying through it, and it says, when the U.S. finds out, Van Gogh used oil for his paintings.
Get him!
You see those jets? You see those jets flying through, Eric?
Yup.
Passing it off to you, buddy.
Nice. All right, doing the ostensibly round 2, I believe, is how we yeah, the interstitial round, the in-between round, in between
the
whole
second round.
Oh, look at Fancy, who's got syllables for the second place thing there. Yeah, okay, great. Episode number 251, doing it to it. Il segundo round sta pierinese.
Dropping a deuce.
Yep. Brian Atlas, who's a guy with a funny mustache and an American flag behind him, says, Alyssa Liu with makeup, maybe she should have taken, makeup should be taken off the market for real. Like he's got a picture of Alyssa Liu, gold-winning ice skater Alyssa Liu, with makeup and without makeup, same outfit, and she's a beautiful woman either way. And he says, Alyssa Liu without makeup, makeup should be taken off the market for real. And Jared Cook says, why would you just confess to the whole internet that you've never woken up next to a woman? It's one of those. I don't know, I was like, I don't. Okay, weird.
She
Mrs.
doesn't
Putin.
look, for our listeners, she doesn't look less pretty
No.
without her makeup on.
Different or
No.
much different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or that much different. Yeah.
Yeah.
It literally looks like she's just going to a different restaurant in one picture than the other.
Very strange. Yeah. Anyway, a lot of commentary, but I liked it. I don't think that we really paid enough attention last week to the micro penis war because that I thought had more to be mined there. Friend of the show, I suppose, Ms. Putin says hashtag MAGA stop needs to stop saying Mark Levin has a micro penis because Marjorie Taylor Greene says I wholeheartedly support Megan Kelly telling the world that Mark Levin has a micro penis. It's the most deserved insult, and I don't care if it's vulgar. And Trump's gigantic defense of Levin only enraged the base more. People are done. MAGA destroyed by micro penis Mark Levin. Like, dude, look at it. She's got the naming thing down. And here we have a gold check mark. Donald J. Trump says Mark Levin does not have a micro penis. Make America great again. By the way, if you know Mark Levin's work, this is so much funnier. The poor Pussycat Girls. Apparently, former Pussycat Girls member claims that she was left out of the reunion because of her MAGA stance. Claims she was blindsided. So weird when people like they're like, wow, no one wants to hang out with you. Anyway, I don't know. I thought it was funny. Hey, speaking of two people who don't want to hang out, here's Elon and Donnie pretending they're friends, and John O'Connell has posted it. Trump, you're not going to post that, are you? I don't have my hair on. Musk, of course not. Musk. Then he posted. You can see, man, it's interesting. He doesn't have his hair on. It's not there, so he looks very shiny, very round. It's fascinating. Oh, that didn't work out right. Well. Here we have the Onion with rising conservative stars, just a guy wearing a Nazi armband and crying. And also, I don't know if you saw this, but we have ICE for some reason in airports because, actually, I know why. Because the president thought it'd be a good idea, so of course it's stupid. And then he praised the ICE agents for their, quote, much larger and harder muscles. Friend Christine says he may be the most stupid person ever. I've heard Kim Kardashian have more intelligent conversation, and I've never watched her show. Anyway, yeah, he really likes Ice's muscles for some reason. Here we have a picture of Ice just standing around in the airport, and it says, "So what are we supposed to do?" And the middle one says, "No idea. I just got in the van." Then we have a couple that looks pretty, professional, and it says, "Ice to the TSA agents. Hello. If you find yourself needing any help, we'll just be sitting right here doing nothing and getting paid more than you." Anyway, and here we have two of the teenage Icemen, and one of them is saying to the other as they stroll through the airport, "My mom said she can drop us off at the airport if your mom can pick us up after our shifts." But they're such harder muscles, guys. And finally, anti-QAnon memes. Joe Kleinschmidt has posted this picture of Jim Jordan. Senator Jim Jordan says, Jordan says that Antifa gave his wife's boyfriend the location of her clit. He said Antifa. Oh, forget it. And that has been my fin de la round numero dos. Hand it back to you, Michael, for a nice penultimate round. I bet you he's got handfuls of towels. That's what I'm picturing. A lot of towels and water. So we're throwing it to you, Brane. Nobody's there. Oh, there we go.
All right. Last round. Let's start this one off with Photoshop, of course. And they
I'm
have
back.
one time. Too late.
All right.
Ah!
And here we have a picture of a vehicle, which is a Saab, and Lauryn Hill photoshopped underneath that Saab, and it says, "Killing me softly with his Saab."
So stupid,
Then
I love
we're
it.
gonna have memes without content reposted. Elizabeth is ruined, and Elizabeth is ruined says, "Turn your trip to the grocery store into a ninja challenge by shopping strictly out of other people's carts when they're not looking."
Damn, that's crazy.
That's
Yeah.
cold, man.
Silly signs and tragic tattoos and something else has a picture of a hat, and this hat says, "Buy a man, eat fish, he day. Teach fish man to a lifetime."
Amen.
Even Yoda doesn't know what the fuck that says. Here we have Samuel L. Jackson with a picture of Apollo Creed, or it could be Apollo Creed's son, Michael B. Jordan as Creed, but it's Tiger Woods' face on Creed's body, and it says, "The DUI of the Tiger." I had to have one Tiger meme in there. Good vibes for life. Good vibes of life says, "We're officially in fake spring. Do not trust it. Winter is waiting around the corner with a chair." Yep, that's how I felt, because yesterday was like 90 degrees and today was like 60 and rainy. Pigeonhole with a small p and a large igen and a small h and a large o. They have a picture of what looks to be the Easter Bunny rolling a boulder that does not fit the cave door. The Easter Bunny is dressed as Winnie the Pooh, and then Jesus is walking out saying, "Thanks, man, I owe you one."
This is canon.
Here we have a koala bear in Strange Facts, and the koala bear is watching a television show that says full prices. The koala bear says, "April Fool's Day is canceled this year because no made-up prank could match the unbelievable crap going on in the world right now." Then laughter is the best medicine says, "Tomorrow is April Fool's Day. Believe nothing and trust no one, just like any other day."
Yeah.
And then Archimedes has a picture of Kat Von D, but it's Michael Jackson's face on there, and it's called Kat Von D. And then Rotten Potatoes has a picture of, well, I think this is You, Me, and Dupree movie poster, but Michael Jackson photoshopped in, and it says You, Me, and he. And that one's it for me for this round, Eric.
All right.
Well, I guess I'm passing to Michael this time.
Yeah. Back to me.
Yep. That's right.
All right, here we go. This one comes to us from I can't see because all this shit's in the way. Samantha. Come on, get out of here. At pattymelt.w10. She says, "My little brother needs to move out of my parents' basement." So she texts her brother, "What are you doing?" He texts back a picture of a cocktail. It looks like iced coffee, but it's got like whipped cream and sprinkles on it and shit. He says, "Chill maxing at the Buffalo Wild Wings." She says, "I hope chill maxing means looking for a job." He says, "Nope, thumbs up, boozy Dunkin' cold brew."
Oh my God.
I think he's doing fine. He sounds happy. Middle class fancy, voice of a generation, and moist Buddha, keeping it moist, keeping it Buddha. Has James Hawkins at James406, who says 110-year-old Turkish grandma shares her secret to a long life. And her secret is, and I quote, "I never once used Microsoft Teams."
Hell yeah.
Nero, friend of the show, Nero, repost _DXLLZ7, who has a picture of just a guy and it's blurry. And it says, "Once you skip one class, they all start looking skippable. And there's no going back." Nero says, "This is why Batman never kills." Adam, friend of the show, Adam, says, "Tailgating me while I'm going 80 and a 45 is crazy. And those red and blue lights on top of your car look stupid, by the way, LOL. Emily Bryant, friend of the show, Emily Bryant at Emily Bryant 4, has a picture of a little girl out in the deer woods. She's wearing camo and an orange vest, and she's she looks like she's 6, and she's smoking a Black and Mild. And Emily says, "My grandpa used to make me smoke Black and Milds to keep the mosquitoes away."
Oh my God.
And the best part is this little girl looks miserable smoking this thing.
That wouldn't
Soup,
even
friend of
work.
the show, Soup says, gas prices are ridiculous when the guy in the lifted truck is not revving his engine at Walmart during mating season. Trash can's back. It's a picture of the pyramids, folks working on the pyramids. It says, when they were building the pyramids, were they allowed to pee down the side, or did they have to walk all the way to the bottom? He says, obviously no poops, but I'm wondering about pee.
America.
Is the obviously no poops. All right, moving on. I don't know where I got this from, but some little elementary school. It's pre-written. If an alien came to visit, and then the kids fill it in. Well, Bella wrote, if an alien came to visit, I would kill it. And then there's just a picture of, I don't even know what this is, what hero
That's a
this
whole
is.
lot of stuff. That's a Hello Kitty bow.
Hello Kitty
That's
bow and like War Machine with like a Chad face. Moving on. Then wrote out Steve. He's a guy we know. He posted this picture of a house, just looks like a normal 2-story house. He says, my neighbors fly a flag that's just a picture of their house. And when you look closely, sure enough, on their porch they have a flag, but it's just of their house.
That's so meta.
My last meme for round 3, the penultimate round, is Ash at Trip and Fall, who says, white people be like, I have to pick up my dog's Invisalign.
Oh my
And
God.
that's all I have for round 3. The penultimate round, leaving only my post with the most. And I'm skipping the line, guys. It's like almost 10:30. My
Dude.
post with the most this week comes to us from Trash Can Paul. Nobody's fucking surprised. So Trash Can did this series of Chuck Norris memes, and they just were all like getting the Chuck Norris jokes like a little wrong. And this one
Right.
was my favorite. I reposted it and it got tons of action. It's a picture of Chuck Norris wearing an insane blue shirt. I don't even know how to describe it. It's sort of
Cowboy
like a
shirt.
Western shirt. I don't know. And it just says in bold impact font over his head, Chuck Norris once ate a bowl of alphabet soup. And
Oh,
that's
that's
all I
it.
got
That's it.
this week.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know who's next. Eric, I think you're next.
I'm up. I'm up doing round 3.
Love you, George. Love you, boys.
See you, buddy. Love you
Go
too.
Saints.
Round 3, the penultimate round, coming at you. I didn't think the face-eating leopards would eat my face, making their first appearance in the show, with a post from Libs of TikTok, because X just charged them $10,000 for that gold check mark, and they can't turn it off. They keep not renewing their business account subscription, but can someone please help me? She's tagging Elon Musk. And as far as I can tell, no, there's been no help for the Libs of TikTok, which, if you don't know, is a terrible one. They deserve any trouble that comes their way. Friend of the show, Mike Ingram for everyone. If you're not following Mike Ingram, why not? He's for everyone. He says things are going really well. As you can see, Kawaja M. Asif says the goal of the war seems to have shifted from opening the Strait of Hormuz, which was open before the war. Winning. I didn't think the face-eating leopards would eat my face has posted that James Woods, a MAGA actor, James Woods, has now announced that he's quitting the Republican Party. Which, there have been a whole lot of these people that are doing this. Like, it only took, like, breaking every single promise for 2 terms. The entire time. Lying every single day for years before they were like, you know what? Yeah. Feral Neurodivergent Raging Meme Posting has this picture of the old frog and scorpion. And The frog is saying, "Why did you sting me? I shall die, and you will surely die as well," said the frog. And Scorpion says, "Libtard, Trump 2028."
Oh my God.
Which sums it up so freaking good, I think. Our own local Scorpion is named Bruce Boma. And I know normally I don't say their whole names, but Bruce, seriously, you're going to die so angry if you don't get off the internet. He decided to post in the local Champaign-Urbana Uncensored or whatever it's called. It doesn't matter. It's the place that I go because we don't have a Waffle House. He posted this dash cam of the No Kings, No War protest on North Prospect going out to where all the businesses are in Champaign. And there's hundreds of people lined up with no war signs. And he just filmed it and posted it. And of course, all the MAGA chuds, commented all over the place, blah, 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 whatever the Fuhrer told him to say today. And I commented, "I like how MAGA supports Trump when he says he's against new wars. Then MAGA cheers on Trump when he flip-flops on wars in Venezuela, the first bombing of Iran, now Iran too. It's almost like MAGA have no memory, no principles, just follow whatever their Fuhrer tells them with fresh, dewy eyes every new day." Anyway, in the Uncensored group, I got 25 likes, and that's a big deal. I posted this with the quote from Orwell, ignorance is strength, war is peace, freedom is slavery. And it's just a big orange Kool-Aid thing being poured out to a bunch of MAGA-hatted elephant Republicans. And he's saying, up is down, wrong is right, true is false. Yay. Hashtag winning. Hashtag winning. Ishans Beck has this exchange from Joe Exotic. It says, Everyone knows Erica put out a hit on Charlie. And Veronica O'Hara says, "Joe Exotic, how are you commenting from prison?" And Joe says, "Veronica, it's all corrupt, girl." Woo! Here we have a cartoon of a bunch of guys at the Military Industrial Complex Incorporated looking at a profits chart, and they're all laughing because the guy says, "Remember the end of Forever Wars?" Oh, yeah, great stuff. Here we have that toy phone you played with as a kid from Fisher Price, and it says, "Trump, I've been talking to Iran on this phone." Jeez, guys. So many fabrications out of his mouth this week. Finally, exchange with Trump and Iran. Trump, "You have 48 hours to comply." Iran, "Nobody cares." Trump, "You have a week." And that has been my penultimate round. The end of round 3, leaving only my post with the most. Handing it back to you, Brane.
All right, post of the most. So let's do it. This one comes to you from Circuit Crafters and has a person with a yellow hat in front of their microwave with a big smile on their face, and they're holding up a T-shirt. And it says the smirk says it all. And the T-shirt says, "I am a social vegan. I avoid meat, but meat is spelled MEET. I am a social vegan. I avoid meat." Passing it back to you, Eric.
Dude, that reminds me, you guys, I'm sure I've mentioned that I have a neighbor who's really into smoking meats. Well, I finally got another friend of mine together with them, and I want to call the anecdote smoked meat cute. All right, that one's just for me.
Smoked meat. What?
I know. I'm trying to speak chick. I'm terrible at it. All right. All right. Gonna keep trying, though. The post with the most. This one here. I just posted, Trump just claimed that the people of Iran wanted to make him their supreme leader, but he told them, "No thanks." I said, "Is it drugs?" Anyway, that got all my friends, people just saying, "Yeah, dementia, 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 dementia." Everybody pretty much said it's dementia. But I'm kind of like, yeah, but if it's drugs, what are they? And could I get some? Ladies and gentlemen, that is every single constitutionally required element of an entire episode of Facebook for the Blind. To all us out, everybody out there that's listening and watching, thank you. We love you. Mwah.
Woo! Love you, Beverly.
Thanks, for listening to an episode of Facebook for the Blind. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.